Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clear for Eight podcast about basically Final Fantasy XIV, but just video gaming in general as well. We might branch off into other games and topics. It's me, Lord Knox, or just Knox, hanging out here with Clarissa and Sujak.
Hello.
What's up?
And today, well, we're going to go straight into. Well, how was our week? That's what we're going to go into. How was the week? I'll start because mine was the most uneventful, I feel, because I got a new mouse. That's my big thing.
Oh.
New mouse. It's great. I was having issues with my old mouse because I have to move with my mouse. I hold down left and right click, and that was just it was like stuttering and it kept unclicking. It was very annoying. So now I have this new mouse and it's not doing that, which is great. And that's where I am in life.
Very nice.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's a big momentous occasion for me. New mouse, new me. What about you guys? Well, I know what you guys were up to. Y'all started tea.
We
Yeah.
did.
We did. We started tea last night.
Yep.
Hitting the living liquid. We almost got through living liquid, honestly.
Yeah, we're pretty
So
close.
we were gaming. I have to say, we were gaming.
I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, I think honestly, all the experience from Savage plus Uwu and just other things in the game, we've just become, I think, a lot better. So I think progressing further ultimate should hopefully go quicker.
I agree. I definitely feel like I'm a lot sharper as a player now, which is good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's see,
all those
tea.
things are good. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
was saying nothing. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
No, just getting the static set up. There's kind of a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes as a raid leader. I've also been kind of sick, so that wasn't great. But yeah, that's kind of been my week. Setting up for tea, doing tea, and slowly dying.
What an awful week to feel awful.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting set up. You're about to start the ultimate prog. You're trying to get the group all together because you're the raid lead. You got to make sure all those everything's in place. And then you're feeling awful and just want to lay in bed probably.
Yeah. Well, it was so funny. We had I think one last trial on Tuesday night, and that's when I just started feeling awful. And I'm just like, all right, we just got to get through this trial. We could do it. I don't want to postpone it because everyone's here. We're just gonna make it through.
Oh my god.
Then I can go die.
just power through. Just make it happen.
What about you, Clarissa?
I haven't really done too much. Well, actually, I have some exciting news to announce. So, with the Fan Fest and all of that, revving up, I got my. So I entered the little raffle to even be able to get a ticket, and turns out I got lucky and I was able to get a little code from the raffle. So I just purchased my tickets for myself and one of my friends. So, uh, our little group will be able to go. So I'm very excited about that.
Very nice. Very
That is
nice.
very exciting.
I was not the chosen, so I'll be watching probably from online.
And
Yeah.
as the podcast representative, we're going to need a full report from you.
Of course.
For sure.
I look forward to watching it though. That'll be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping there's a big announcement of some kind. I would imagine that there's going to be.
Oh, I'll
But-
let you guys know for sure.
Well, I'm assuming if there is any announcements, they'll definitely broadcast that
Yeah. I would hope so.
because people would be very angry if
Oh yeah.
they did not
Yeah.
broadcast that.
Sure. I guess we can kind of segue into community now, like with FanFest. I mean, that's a big community.
Oh,
Oh, actually, I just remembered something. I know we need to segue into that. However, I just want to say in the beginning here, the patch is coming out in like a few hours after we are done recording this. So we're not talking about the new patch stuff today.
We're
Because
not.
we can't. Even though the podcast is coming out the day of the patch, we're recording it before the patch. So next week we will talk about the patch in case anyone was wondering about that.
Yep.
But yes, FanFest. Let's move into that.
Yeah. FanFest in Vegas. It's the first FanFest to go off, right? Isn't it? In comparison to London and Japan.
Yes, it is. So I'm not exactly sure what any like big announcements might be, because my theory is they'd be probably saving some of the bigger announcements like 7.0 stuff for the last announcement, which would be Japan. I'm guessing that's probably going to be in January, but I'm not sure. I don't know what we're going to hear. I hope it's something exciting for
I don't.
Vegas.
If they hold off, well, no, they maybe, but if they don't announce anything about 7.0 and they announce it next year, I mean, because that's already going to be over 2 years since Endwalker launched.
Oh, that's true.
So that's a
Yeah.
long time. Like,
I
I'm
wonder-
used to the COVID timeline because I joined during that.
Yeah.
well, even in COVID, Shadowbringers to Endwalker was only delayed, what was it, 2 years, 3 months or something like that?
Okay.
It wasn't a huge, not like what we're
Uh-huh.
looking at now. Like, this seems like it's going to be a longer, which they did say it might be a bit longer of a wait, but I can't imagine it going to 3 years or something.
I do wonder if maybe they'll announce 7.0. It maybe the US one, and then at the Japan one have like a new trailer to release or something. I don't know.
I was thinking they could do like, maybe they give us a teaser of it in North America, a name, maybe a little brief thing about it, something. I don't know what exactly. I'm not sure. Like just a general announcement. And then maybe
Mhm.
for Japan, they introduce whatever classes they're bringing or they show off
Oh,
engine
jeez.
stuff. Yeah, they could do that, like a big
A big
reveal.
reveal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get something, a nibble, like a little just something.
Yeah. It would be nice, but we'll see. Because I also think it's going to be concentrated on the 10th anniversary as well.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
An even bigger time to announce the next 10 years.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I feel like they might just be like, well, things aren't quite set in stone yet. So maybe we'll just like shift our spotlight onto the past 10 years instead of looking
Oh, please.
forward.
No,
to
that's
the
when
next
at the end you just give us at least. I just want a name
Yeah.
and something like a picture.
And
I don't care how
total
little it
amount.
is. Just give me anything.
That would be nice.
I feel like they got that. They have to know what it's called by now.
I'd hope so.
It's,
Yeah.
unless they're bouncing around between two names. Like, I don't know. Is it this or is it
Oh.
this? I don't know. But yeah, I would love to see something. Anything. It would be really cool. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens and streaming it and watch parties. And I heard of some rumblings around the community for all the people who didn't win the lottery.
Oh, gosh.
That just the abundance of in-game events going on during the stream, and kind of like a sort of mini LunarCon going on during FanFest for all the people who are at home.
Oh, that's good. I didn't pick up on that because I'm like too busy like vibrating, thinking about being in Vegas.
Melting.
Yeah. But that's
I would
cool.
I
Are
would
they
feel
gonna be,
so
like,
stressed.
in Vegas?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna be stressed and probably really sweaty, but it'll be a good time.
Also
It'll
a
be
good time.
great.
Yeah, it would just still also like this. It could be a good time and stressful.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just a
For sure.
crowded place. There's going to be well,
Good.
never mind. They won't be confused. I was going to say there's going to be a bunch of confused tourists who are just there because it's Vegas, but
Oh,
it's also
gosh.
it's Vegas, so they're probably just going to be like, oh, whatever. I guess that's Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. People dressed up in cosplays
Yep.
and just like it's probably nothing new. for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
No, there's so many shows and performances. There's always someone in a costume for something. So
We'll blend in.
that's yeah, pretty
Yep.
much. Which show are you guys in? Fun? I don't know. We're just doing this.
Oh gosh. But yeah, excited for that. Okay, so what do we think? Do you guys think that there's going to be any general admission tickets left?
Oh, no. I mean, I personally don't think so. Just from what I've been reading online, like, first of all, so many people are just straight up mad because the game is super popular, right? And like you have the like people who were planning to go to FanFest last year, but it was canceled because of COVID. So they've been waiting, and the game has just ballooned in popularity. So people they looked at the venue and they're like, okay, this venue can house what was it, 200,000 guests. So they're like, okay, there are going to be tons of tickets, right? Well, the word got out that apparently there were only 15,000 tickets um made or whatever. So people are mad. I've been seeing a lot more people kind of figuring out their ticket situation, and they kind of went from being kind of frustrated that they didn't win the raffle, and they are able to like get a ticket from someone else who did, and they weren't using their second ticket, but like I think it's still a lot of people, but I don't think there's going to be anything left over just because of the amount of people who didn't get the raffle. There are a lot of people who are going to want to go who probably won't get tickets. But I
Yeah.
don't know. It's expensive, so that has kind of been a logistical issue for people who originally wanted to go, but it's not possible, so that's going to play a factor as well. So maybe there will be tickets left over, but I'm
Yeah,
not hopeful.
I think general admission sales are going to be very slim. It's probably going to be like maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
It's going to be slim. Um, so I guess for context for me, I think BlizzCon at its height was like 30,000 strong,
Wow.
and so that'd be double the size of what FanFest was. Um, but yeah, of course, the same thing happened. People were just like, I couldn't get tickets, and it's just, I think at the end of the day, like, tickets are just not going to be freely available to everyone who wants to go,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But maybe sometime Square can be like, all right, we need a bigger venue, more tickets. But I know coming out of the pandemic, I'm guessing the number of people was still a concern of theirs.
Yeah. And I think previous FanFest, in-person FanFest, it was either like 5,000 or 10,000, something around that. That's what I've been seeing people murmuring. I don't know like the validity of that, but it was definitely much smaller in previous iterations.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 5,000, they went to 15. I mean, that's tripling their
Yeah.
size, which is good, but also the game has really exploded in popularity, so
Mhm.
it's disappointing to people that maybe are sort of new to FanFest and how it works.
Yeah.
You know what? Thinking about with it, because it has exploded in popularity, but I find it funny when a bunch of game developers and stuff say that their game is losing players because, oh, pandemic's kind of over and people are not playing games as much anymore. And yet, Final Fantasy has not felt that, like, at all. That's not happening. So stop with that excuse. maybe, maybe,
It,
give that a shot.
it's something nice to say to shareholders, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, I don't know. I've seen, oh, there's a problem. People are complaining, and they're just like, oh, it's not the game. Hmm. Isn't it though? Isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah. I
Because
mean, I think
yeah, Final
any
Fantasy's doing it. I don't know. They're making it.
Yeah. I mean, I think any good game that comes out, people will play it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When WoW was at its peak and bigger than any MMO is right now, there wasn't a pandemic.
Yep.
So, you know, 'cause
Yep.
everyone could have been outside if they wanted to be, but they were playing the video game. So, I don't know. I
It's true.
feel like
So,
yeah, I don't, well, not to just beat up on WoW, it's just the fact that other games are struggling even in the genre and losing player bases a bit or feeling a slight decrease from the pandemic kind of ending, so to speak. And but yeah, FF14, it's kind of incredible that it hasn't really had that drop off like everyone else.
yeah, I think as we'll approach from like 6.5 onward, I think the numbers are definitely gonna drop for
Oh,
subs and stuff for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
But they know
definitely.
that's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
that's
And maybe
every
even
yeah.
subs are dropping just because it is kind of a content drought.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't know. I still think I'm excited about FanFest to see what comes out of it and the cosplays and
There's gonna be great stuff. I already know. Like I've just been seeing these amazing cosplayers saying, "Oh yeah, I got a ticket. I'll be there and this." And it's like, "Oh my gosh, I've seen photos of this. It looks amazing. Now I get to see it in person." Oh.
Yeah,
is
it's I'm hoping there's some sort of a concert because when I started playing, I remember seeing a friend had mentioned it to me, and I remember seeing there was the fan fest, I think it was, where no one was there. It was just the artists and whatnot playing music. That was it,
Wow.
and they were just playing to an empty thing. But they streamed it, of course. But that was
Yeah.
when oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name now. The
Token.
Yeah,
Soken?
Soken. Yes, thank you, Soken. He played the one of the themes on the automatons.
Oh my
Automaton or whatever it was
gosh.
called, those little weird looking
Those
things.
things. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was so funny, and I'm hoping there's another live moment like that. I would love to have seen that in front of a crowd. And I'm hoping we get something kind of close to that. If it happens though, it'll probably happen in Japan rather than in America, but a live performance would be cool. Some live music.
Yeah, there will be concerts each day of FanFest. So I am excited for that.
Yeah, that'll
I
be
just
awesome. That's my favorite part is usually the music.
Hmm.
just don't know if those will be streamed though.
Um,
I
We'll
would hope
see.
so. Like I could you imagine the blowback if they
I think
didn't
people
at
would be
least.
genuinely mad. They would. I don't think that would blow over very well.
Yeah, no, that would not. Yeah. I mean, I could understand not having every single little panel, but
Yeah.
if it's like concerts or whatever, that's on a main stage kind of deal. Like
Yeah.
you better have a damn camera on it, live streaming it,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep, yep.
or I will no longer pay for my sub.
oh
Dang it.
gosh.
No, I will. I'm addicted.
Oh my. So another sort of maybe not controversy, I don't know, some discussion going around of like, big streamers, big influencers in the community just don't automatically get tickets to the event. What do you all think about that?
Ooh. Let me formulate my thoughts. Hmm.
I was wondering if they did it because I didn't honestly know until you just now said that they didn't.
They don't. I saw
uh,
people upset.
Yeah.
I guess I see why the streamers would be upset because that's content. That's and their livelihood is the content and going over the game. So being able to go to those things is almost a necessity, you could say.
Yeah.
But from Final Fantasy's point of view, they don't need them to go. Like
Yeah.
which is weird. They're just like that. You are gonna talk to a bunch of people already into the game. Like I don't know, whatever. We want
Yeah.
to let the whole community in. And let's face it, someone in there is going to give their second ticket to some of these
Oh,
streamers and
yeah,
stuff.
for
Like, they're
sure.
going to be able to get in. Don't
For
sit
sure.
there and get all, oh, I didn't, whatever. You're fine.
I've been seeing a lot of that. Not that like people were mad that they didn't get a ticket and complained and then got one from a fan, but but like people who I guess are kind of like higher up on the totem pole who didn't get lucky, they have come out and been like, yeah, I'm super thankful that so and so let me have their second ticket, and it's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But I think my stance on it, I kind of sit both ways. So as far as like an equality standpoint, I kind of agree with um everyone kind of having the same chances of getting a ticket, and like content creators, like high level content creators, I guess,
Hmm.
don't automatically get one. But also, on the other hand, I understand why they're upset, and a lot of people, like not the content creator themselves, but like I've seen a lot of people who were fans of those content creators saying like, "Well, I really wanted to see so and so at the event. Now I have no reason to go." And it's like, huh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, they're
So I
still going
don't
to sell
know.
out.
Yep,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
they will find a way.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I understand 100% where the creators are coming from and why people would
Yeah.
want their creators to be there. I get it. But from Final Fantasy's point of view, okay. We're going to sell out anyway, and we're just going to give it to random people. We're not going to play favorites. And so I get
Yeah.
that point of view of just give it to everyone and the creators will figure it out because they're going to. If,
Mhm.
they need to be there, they got to be there, they'll get there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like I do like this sort of like, well, it's all equal. Tickets are going to be open to just everybody. But then on the other hand, these streamers that are streaming the game, um, I mean, it's pretty much them advertising it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
dedicating their time, building the communities, having a mark on Twitch and YouTube and even, TikTok or whatever. But yeah, I can see it both ways. I do think like people like, Xenosis or, the bigger streamers, they're gonna they're gonna find a ticket.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like they're gonna figure it out. They'll whatever. They'll pay big bucks even to someone to just buy their seat, so to speak,
Mhm.
because they'll probably make back that money anyway, just from people wanting to watch their stream and watch their YouTube videos talking about it and whatever.
Yeah.
So, are they really gonna get hurt by this? No. They'll figure it out. It'll be whatever. Uh,
Yeah. Although I think I saw Mr. Happy saying he's gonna stay home. He didn't get a ticket. And
Yeah.
that he's had fans sort of offer, but he said, no, 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 I'll stay home. We'll kind of enjoy it off, online together, everybody.
and
So
that's
that was
workable
interesting.
too.
It is. It is.
So, yeah. Hmm.
So I just thought it was interesting how everyone, a lot of people had a very like polarizing view of like, influencers should get a ticket, and then people are like, no, they shouldn't.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I see that thinking, but I also I don't see a point in having to set aside a ticket for them, and then you have to pick which influencers you actually want to bring,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
then
That
that's a
can
whole
get
thing,
very.
and that can get political, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
especially with some of the drama that's been out there. Like, I just would not want to touch that from a PR
No.
perspective and just be like, you know what? Y'all deal with it.
It's all random. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because then if they like, if Square actually just like it personally invited these people, then it would be like them endorsing them and their
Yep.
stream and their content. So, especially a streamer that starts with Z, Yeah, what is
ends with.
ends with a yeah, like I wouldn't want to touch that. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
even like it doesn't even. No matter which side of the argument you're on with that, like whatever you believe, doesn't even matter. It's still a controversy, and no
Yep.
company wants to touch that. No one wants
Nope.
to be in that situation, so they're not going to do it.
Nope. So yeah, that it makes sense. Whew.
Yep.
All right.
It's
So I
yeah.
think we've killed FanFest,
I'm
or
looking
at least
forward to. Are you gonna cosplay over there?
Oh gosh, yes, I've been mulling it over all day because I've been really inspired after seeing like what other people are going to be wearing. I'm like, oh, I have 122 days. Do I have time to like bang out a cosplay really fast? But I don't know. My original idea was to do kind of like a summer themed glam and then maybe make the ultimate summoner book, or not ultimate, the T weapon. But I don't know, we'll see.
Look, just whatever you do, just slap on some 2B boots and you'll just win.
No! Oh god, you know someone's gonna be wearing those
Oh,
boots though.
1,000%.
Oh
There's
it's
going to
god.
gonna be
be.
fun boy, cat boy with 2B boots.
Yeah, there's gonna be like at least 5 running around, but
Oh yeah, they'll team
I
up for a group photo.
oh,
yeah, it'd be powerful.
that would be powerful. Oh man. Yeah, 122 days. That's not a lot of time.
No. Oh, I don't know if I want to subject myself to the pain of con crunch. Ugh.
Well, and then the other logistical thing you have to think about is flying with it.
Yeah, that's been the big issue because a lot of my stuff, like, I have to, like, if I want to make one of the summoner books, I have to kind of pick a design that is airplane friendly and I can crunch it up in a suitcase and nothing will break. Oh, I've already been thinking of some pieces on the tea book where I'm like, oh god, I have to like make this detachable so it doesn't snap off or something. But I don't know, we'll see.
Oh gosh.
Yo,
Yeah,
just like make
flying is
it.
just the whole thing.
Just get an actual book and make a
No.
slip-on cover for. No, but hear me out. Hear me out. I know. No, a real book. No, make it Sun Tzu's Art of War. And it's a
Oh my.
tactics book. And
Art
then
of
people might see the book and be like, "Oh, they got a real book about war! Holy crap, scholar!" But you're not a scholar. You're a
War.
summoner.
War.
Punch the ground.
Gain on 2.
Oh god.
You should just have that as floating above your head. It's a gain on 2.
Oh, I should bring that mug. But I know someone, they're thinking about bringing Zodiac. Or maybe I shouldn't have said that. They're bringing a large cosplay. And
Oh
they're
man.
gonna have to do a road trip, like, across the
Oh my
US.
gosh.
I'm excited. I hope that they do bring it, because I would love to see it. But, well, I'm not that powerful.
That's yeah, I mean if you live sort of close to Vegas, I could see, yeah, that would work. But if you're like, the middle of America eastward, that's a long drive.
It's dedication.
Could you? Could it be feasible if you were like? Could you like ship it to the hotel?
Yes, but the
Will it be
time,
intact?
it's, like, too expensive. Because you'd
Mm.
have to make sure that it arrives at a specific time frame. So you probably have to like overnight it or something. And because of the size, it would be just stupid pricey.
I guess, but I'm also thinking of like gas money to actually drive yourself there, an extra
Oh
hotel
yeah.
stay somewhere. Like, so the cost. I mean,
It,
obviously, it would be super expensive to ship it, but then
yeah.
again, driving it there yourself is also kind of expensive. So, uh,
Yeah.
it. I don't know. I guess for some people, it could be an option to weigh, especially as you drive further out.
Hmm.
Someone on the East Coast. Oh my goodness, you might just be better off shipping it.
Yeah, I think I personally would ship it, but like I would be like sweating, nervous, like if that package
Mm.
got lost, I don't know what would happen. I would just explode.
Yeah.
That would be very, yeah.
Between that, getting lost, or just absolutely like damaged. Oh,
Oh, jeez. That probably is weighing in a huge factor on their choice to drive, but I hope they do it. I would love to see that cosplay.
That would be cool, yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, now I think we have fan-fested enough
We have.
Yes.
on that part of the community, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I
Which,
think.
what are you thinking?
Well, we're talking about all this fan fest stuff, but like as a new player, maybe
Mm-hmm.
start going into some of like new player communities, even maybe like first playthrough streamers, kind of going into that area of the community. Because
Yeah.
right now we're talking about FanFest and everything, but what if you're new to Final Fantasy? Like, how does that go?
Where to even begin with that? I mean, I guess for us though, all three of us, it's kind of still fresh in our minds what it was like being a new player anyway,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago where we were clueless little sprouts running away with a stack marker.
Oh man.
God, that was, oh man, I was playing with a
Classic.
new player because well, okay, I shouldn't say like I'm special. I don't mind playing with new players. It's actually very interesting in the Final Fantasy 14 community. I have found more people that like to play with new players than don't, if that makes sense.
I can believe
Because
that.
then I've seen in a lot of other games where people just don't want to deal with a new player.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, go watch a guide online,
Hmm.
and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not nearly as fun as just sitting there with the new player and hey, yeah, no, I'll run that with you. Oh, don't stand
Yeah.
in that. Or I love to personally just let them die to it.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
and then tell them afterwards, so now that you've experienced it, this is what you did wrong.
That's how I am.
I let a new player, he went into a certain, it's an early primal fight. It's not really a spoiler because it's so early. But part of the arena falls away.
Oh,
Y'all
yep,
know what I'm
yep.
talking about.
Yeah.
Didn't give him any warning.
Oh.
Let him go.
Oh
It was
my
great to
God.
watch. I told her, I was like, it's kind of a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Everyone falls here. If you don't, you're not living. So everyone expects the sprout to fall there. Don't even be mad. And then he was like, because he was freaking out on he was streaming it, and he was, oh my gosh, I've let my team down. Oh man, I've done this to the team, and none of them said anything. No one got mad. They just kept doing their thing, and they ended up killing it without him, and he was the healer. So
Oh my
it's a
gosh.
pretty simple, straightforward fight, really. But a lot of people aren't used to that. They're
No.
Yeah.
used to you mess up the first fight, and then there's that stress because people are going to start getting irritated right away.
Yep.
Oh,
And that's something I like in Final Fantasy with new players is there is that understanding of, oh, they're new. Hey, let's help them out. Or they saw it once, maybe they've got it now. Let's do it again. That's it. I don't. There's not as much grief.
Yeah, people are pretty nice and understanding and chill, honestly.
yeah. It's good to see because yeah, definitely what Knox was saying. Coming from other games, not to name names, um, but it can be like if you don't know it, it's just like you're gonna get vote kicked or yelled at like why did you look this up? There's something called Google. There's internet search. And maybe Final Fantasy might have that in like high end stuff, some degree to that. But I think for new players and Sprouts, it's pretty forgiving. And even should we talk about the Mentor Sprout Novice Network?
Oh gosh, we
Maybe
can.
soon. Yes, I mean at some point, yes, now or later.
I'm fine whenever.
I was just
Um,
thinking about I didn't want to lose a thought, and I've already lost it. So go ahead.
No.
I
no.
don't know where it went. That really is
Oh,
unfortunate.
if it comes back, just holler it out.
Wait, it was something that happened to me early. Oh, just with the helpfulness with new players, and instead of Googling and stuff. Because a weird thing with Final Fantasy is because people will help you in the game, I guess, there's really less articles out there to help you with new stuff. I
Oh,
guess I've noted, like, for instance, when I was playing and I started out, I found a barding for my chocobo. And I couldn't figure out how to get him to wear I couldn't get it on him. I didn't know how to do it. And I saw someone running by with their chocobo and it had barding. And I literally went into /say and said, "Excuse me, excuse me."
Oh my.
But they stopped, and I was like, "Hi, how do I put that barding on my chocobo? I don't understand." And they stopped and this was just someone in the world running around, and they just stopped and were like, "Oh yeah, this is how you do it," and explained it to me.
That's adorable.
And I was like, "Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it." And then that was it. We went our separate ways, but that was just so mind blowing to me that wow, this rando just helped me.
Yeah.
oh,
Uh, again, like I just in other communities, I have not seen that, and I'm not even picking on a game. It's most games. I just haven't had that
yeah,
feeling.
I have not either. Um, I would like to share my heartwarming Sprout moment. Um, I guess I was just hitting into Shadowbringers and I was trying to keep two jobs leveled sort of the same so I could like maximize main story quest XP. And so I was just doing fates all in um, the flowery land of the fairies. And I had this one person just they saw me just doing these fates like mindlessly and they're like, "Oh, are you doing fates? All right, I'll invite you to my party." So I didn't have flying at that point. So they just flew me around,
Aw.
helping me with fates for like, I don't know, like an hour or something.
Wow.
And I was just like, "Wow. That's really nice. Like, thanks for flying me around," because I kept missing them just because I was like, ground mounts.
Running.
Hmm.
Everyone's killing them fast. I'm not getting to them in time. And they just flew me around. Did not
Oh.
care. And I was like, oh, thanks. And it was the sky slipper.
Oh my gosh. Of course.
Mm, of course
Oh,
it was.
yep.
Bet it was Gurren.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, but that was really nice. I was like, wow, that was really nice. And I'm still blown away by like nice things people do. And I try and pay it forward.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
you know, now that I know the game more, like I'll give extra minions to people if I see they're a sprout or offer rides to somebody if I'm in area doing like gathering or something. So it's good. I like the new player sprout community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even because you touched on it briefly with, oh, why didn't you watch a guide on this and how you can run into that in Final Fantasy, but when you say high end, I mean, we're talking that's maybe in an extreme, or definitely you could see that in a Savage or Unreal, things like that. Just like really actual high end game content.
Yeah.
But if it's in the story, like along the story path, it's all normal mode stuff. I've never seen an expectation like, why didn't this guy watch a video? Like, no,
Oh
it's
yeah,
you're
no.
just supposed to experience the game and just
Yeah.
Yep.
play the game. That is literally the expectation of the
Oh,
community.
I remember as a sprout, I had to do Crystal Tower raids, right? And I was so nervous to do them because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my like first alliance raid. It's 24 people. So I'm watching guides, I'm watching videos, I'm
Oh my
looking at all the
gosh.
mechs,
That's
and
hilarious.
I'm just like so nervous. And mind you, this was like the end of Shadowbringers, so everyone's like super geared. I was like, you're skipping the mechs. And so when I got to Crystal Tower, I I was just like, "What's happening? Everyone's just running so fast. I don't know what's going on."
I
And I
was the complete opposite going into alliance raids. I didn't watch a video. I wasn't stressed, nothing, because I knew right away, 24 people, I'm a nobody. Like, this should be content where if people hit the floor, it doesn't matter. There's 24 of us.
Yeah, I didn't well, now I know that, but it was just like, I was so nervous to run it, and even just recently, I'm like, "Nobody's running to Lubrum. I don't wanna run it
Oh.
myself. I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm.
Save me."
I remember running that when it was the live content, and that was... I don't know. People were fine then because there was that influx of a bunch of new players. So there was a lot of sprouts running around in Delubrum.
Me at some point.
Yeah, me at some point. Yeah, it was happening. And they had some... There was some wild mechanics in there for new players or
Oh
newer
yeah.
players. So it was fun. It's just now it's awful to run it because there's hardly anyone doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember as a sprout, like, the Waking Sands,
Oh man.
there like, there were so many people there.
There were tons of people hanging out there. I don't see many people around there anymore. Like the few times that I find myself there, it's pretty empty.
Yeah, I think a big part of that was just there was that influx of new players
Yeah. Man.
because it was summer 2020 or 20... When was it? I don't remember. I think it was 2020
2020. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
and
Yeah.
2021 because that's when I started was 2021, right? Yeah, because there was another influx because Asmon started playing in 2021 in the
Oh
summer.
yeah.
And I had oddly, like, some people thought I started playing because Asmon started playing. No, I had made my character like 3 weeks before Asmon was talking about it. It just looked like about the same time. But yeah, I think that was just an influx of players. You're going to see a bunch at the Waking Sands because there's just everybody's leveling. You kind of see
Yeah.
the same thing on the new data center where there's a lot of new players.
Oh
It can get
boy.
pretty crowded at the Waking Sands because everyone's going there.
Yeah.
But what about things like with the new players and the no spoilers?
Yeah.
Now that's a big part of it because there is definitely the big community thing of do not spoil it for the new players and try to avoid posting any story spoilers you can. We're even I don't I feel like sometimes we should just say, hey, we're going to talk about spoilers in this podcast or something because I feel it. We all feel it. Like, man, we shouldn't spoil anything in here as best we can. It's
Yeah.
just, it's like a knee jerk reaction, I guess. I don't know. It's just how we're all built with this
Yeah.
game is don't spoil it. Let people experience it. It's a pretty awesome part of it, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I always like when, Sprout zone it. You can tell they're zoning into a dungeon or something or a trial for the first time,
Hmm.
and they're
Mhm.
watching the cutscene. And, people are considerate of someone watching the cutscene. And most of the time, the party will just wait until
Yeah.
you're done watching that cutscene. Because we're like, we want you to enjoy the story. We want you to enjoy your first time playing through.
Yeah, I remember I will always, when we come in, like if I run a lot of roulettes with Stan, so it's always, me and Stan. But whoever I'm with, we'll spot someone and be like, "Oh, we got a cutscene enjoyer," which means somebody might be new here. So we always watch out for that. And I remember when I was tanking, I was leveling a tank, and I remember accidentally pulling. We actually had a new player, and sometimes you just get into it, and there's always that little cutscene right before the last boss,
Yep.
and I wasn't paying attention. They're watching it, and I literally like told everyone,
Oh.
slow DPS. I didn't realize, and we all just stood there and
Oh.
let the boss whack me, waiting for them to finish. And I apologized again. I'm so sorry. You're allowed to watch those. I just wasn't paying attention. But we
Oh,
stood there.
gosh.
Boss was still at like 95% health by the time they got out. So yeah, that's how it is. I literally, people will call out someone for skipping on anyone watching the cutscenes and trying to force them along. It's not smiled upon.
I've seen a healer let the tank die because
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because
man.
because they pulled the boss and the little sprout is in cutscene and everyone else in the party is kind of looking at each other like why didn't the tank wait? Like this person is clearly in cutscene and
Oh,
we just watched this guy die and it's like, I hope that like I feel a little bad if they pulled by mistake. But if they were just being inconsiderate,
If they
yeah,
pulled by
karma
mistake,
there.
if it was me and I pulled by mistake and the healer let me die, I'd be like, I deserve this. I'd even
I
release
deserve
and run back, do the whole thing. That's another thing actually is the run back part because
Oh,
there's other games that will make you run back, and Final Fantasy actually just has a teleport. It doesn't always teleport you. It usually teleports you to the last boss you finished,
yeah.
but it's a lot shorter of a run than running the entire length of a dungeon. So
Yeah,
wiping is not that big of a deal,
no.
which is nice.
Yeah.
And actually, it's for any sprouts that might be listening. I doubt we'll get a sprout listening. They're not usually looking for podcasts to listen to. But if a sprout comes across this and you've made it this far, uh, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm tired and I've lost train
No,
of thought again. Oh my gosh,
there was
no!
so much build up.
There was
Nox,
some
you
build it.
silly goose!
So,
And now
yeah,
I'm
if you
stressing it.
No,
That's
Okay.
no.
okay. But yeah, if you are a sprout listening, we say welcome. Join
Yes.
the community. Do the things you love. Don't care what people think. If you want to G pose, you want to go for the glams, you want to raid, you want to, you know, run a cat cafe, go for it.
If you want to skip the story, do it.
Yeah, that's true. I
I
mean,
know.
there's a lot of people that are like,
There are so
you
many.
bad, blah blah blah. But I
Don't
mean, you
skip it.
play
Don't ever skip it. No. If you know what you want from the game, you're allowed to skip if you want to skip. It's just don't come out and say the story's terrible if you skipped it all.
Yeah.
Because obviously it doesn't make sense. I had critiques. And I remember people like, oh, well, did you even watch all of it? And I'm like, I did. That's why I'm saying all of this.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the way some of it was done and the way the writing was done. And it just, some things kind of dragged or whatever. I had critiques. I had my complaints. And it was, there was some people out there just didn't want you even saying that. I'm like, I'm allowed to critique it.
Yeah.
I watched every cutscene. I sat here for hours watching all of this. I am allowed to be disappointed. And overall, I enjoyed the story, which is the sad part that I'm not allowed to be critical of something I like.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm more critical of the things I like
Yeah.
because I enjoy
No.
them, and I'm gonna dissect them more because
Yeah.
I like them.
So what do you think about people who like just flat out buy a skip? They're like, "Hey, what can you buy a skip
Oh.
to 80 now?"
Yes. Yeah, each
Yeah.
time the
Oh.
expansion drops, it updates the skip to right up to the expansion.
Okay. Yeah. People, maybe a new player that just skips right to 80. What do y'all think about that?
From my gameplay standpoint, I just worry a little bit because uh coming from like playing this game from like 1 to 90, I think it's a lot easier to understand how jobs work and specific roles work and what you need to be doing when you start from the beginning and gradually work your way up. if you just buy a skip to 80, you're gonna have so much stuff on your hotbar, and you're not gonna know exactly how it works, and you might miss some like fundamental like things that you need to know about the specific role. It just I don't recommend it. I've definitely encountered people you can just kind of tell bought a level skip and they don't like know how to play their job or their role even, and it's not good because people do get frustrated sometimes, and it's like, why are you at this level still using like this skill? You shouldn't be doing that. And it just it gets bad depending on the personalities, because if you get like if you skip and you don't listen to people trying to help you, it's not a good look. Let's just put it that way.
Hmm.
Because it's like, okay, you see
I
someone playing kind of funny, and it's like, hmm.
I'm okay with it because I don't know. I've also seen people where you would think they had bought a skip, but I knew for a fact they didn't. They had actually
Oh
played all
boy.
the way up, but they just only pushed 3 buttons
Mm.
because that's just what they did. All the new buttons were just, oh, whatever, these are working. And then they hit
Oh
those the whole way,
I
and
mean,
no.
it works.
that happens. So there's just it's hard to tell if someone bought a skip, but there is definitely if someone's you know running around in Endwalker content and tries to run away with a stack marker, kind of sus over
Oh.
there. You're sussing a little bit. But I'd say I'm not against it because I know that some people just you're not super invested into the story. You don't care. I understand that it's a super long like process if you watch all the cutscenes and stuff. If you skip them, you
Yeah.
can really cut down on the time. You can go pretty fast. But I do get wanting to skip that and just get towards that end game content and see what people are playing and what they're doing. And oh man, my friend was talking about raiding. It looks so cool. But at that point, I
Yeah.
think you're gonna want to watch guides on stuff so you can
Yeah.
understand what the heck's going on. There's also getting the feel for, I guess, the jank. We've talked about the netcode before and stuff,
Ugh.
and just getting a feel for how that slide casting works if you're playing a caster, and the timings on getting out of AOE markers and stuff, and
Hmm.
just the flow of the game and how it all works. There's a bit of a learning curve there, and you'll learn that when you're just doing normal leveling.
Yeah.
So but I'm not fully against it. There was that one. There was a World of Warcraft Mythic Raider person hardcore. He bought the skip, and people were like, "Oh, but you're skipping. What about the story and everything?" And he just told them, I don't care about the story. I'm sure it's a great story. I'm not here for the story. I don't care. But I know what I want to do. I want to raid, and I'm gonna go raid. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check this out. That's all I want to do. The rest of it's whatever. I don't care. And of course, he's a no lifer. You have to be to be like a mythic raider. Not to sound derogatory, but it's just you play a lot to be at that point, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, he came into the game and he just immediately started adjusting to Final Fantasy, and they were going into like ultimates and stuff just within a
Man.
week or two of being buying that story skip and downing content a lot of people couldn't even do. So
Gamer.
yeah, you can't really hate that guy because he was just transparently like, yeah, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Just gonna play the game, dude. I can't get mad at that. So if you feel like you're gonna do it and you can handle it, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
But if you aren't hardcore, I just say at least play one character straight through, even if you skip cutscenes.
Yeah.
If you don't care about the story, just skip the story. You can do it. You can rush to the end. Yeah, you'll figure out a lot of stuff along the way. So
Yeah. For sure. I like seeing, and I know a lot of the Final Fantasy streamers out there, or like new popular ones, are the people who are doing like first time playthroughs and streaming it. I mean, I know you watch one, Nox. But yeah, there's a few out there that, they have like this whole crowd of people surrounding them as they're like
Oh
going through
God.
the story and like trying to avoid spoilers. And Just like watching their reactions to like very dramatic parts in the story
Yeah.
as well.
One thing that I found fun with streamers streaming it. Well, I wouldn't watch a streamer doing the story, I guess. I have watched, but I don't know. I was ahead of them at that point.
Mhm.
I think it was Asman. I checked out him, but I was ahead of him at that stage, so no spoilers for me.
Right.
Um, but one thing I do like is the way Zeno does it, because Zeno, he's going back to the no lifer kind of guy. That's how he is. He just wants to raid. So on his main, he just balls straight through, skips every cutscene, just hammers it straight to the end so he can start gearing, be ready to go. But then after like a couple weeks, he'll go back on an alt and slowly play through it with his community, and then most everyone else has caught up. There's no spoilers, and everyone gets to see his fresh reaction. And I think that's a pretty cool way to do it, especially, why can't I have that beard? Like, that was incredible moment.
Gosh.
For context, he really got mad he couldn't have a beard that's in the game, so
Yeah.
it's pretty great.
mean, and I think his community knew it was coming up too.
Oh yeah, I remember because he has the chat in the VOD, so you could see people like, here it comes. that was so funny. Oh man. There was remember because I streamed it, and I think I had a couple friends in there when I got mad yelling at the screen because I was sick of cutscenes, but I was told not to skip the cutscenes, which this is from a personal standpoint why I tell people you're allowed to skip cutscenes. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I almost quit from how many cutscenes there were because I was getting to a point where I didn't care, and I literally was screaming on stream, please let me play the game. Like, I was so tired of watching cutscenes. I just wanted to do a dungeon, or I wanted to level something, or I have to sit here and watch this cutscene and read it, and then go to the next cutscene and then read it, and then go to the next cutscene and then read it, and then it was like one stream. I streamed for 4 hours, and I spent 3 hours in cutscenes. I timed it. It was 3 hours out of 4, just in cutscenes.
I can believe that. Some parts do get pretty cutscene heavy.
Yeah, I was in. It was patch content for one of the expansions, which are typically very cutscene heavy because when you're doing them live, as we're finally experiencing for our first time, it's not that bad.
No.
Right.
Because you get like a few cutscenes basically every few months.
Yeah.
Cool. But when you're doing them all back to back to back to back to back to back, it's a
All
lot of
day.
cutscenes. It's a lot of cutscenes.
It is. Yeah.
But you can
Yeah,
go back. That's the other lovely thing is there's New Game Plus. You could make just an alt and go casually do it again, which I have done. I've gone back and played different parts just because maybe I was frustrated and skipped some cutscenes and it was like, man, what actually happened back then? And then I can go back and do it. So it's not, there's nothing stopping you from going back and enjoying everything in the game.
Yep. There's definitely things I've missed, and someone will like post a tweet about something, and I'm like, huh? That happened? And I'm just like,
there
slightly
was, imagine my surprise when the Alliance raid in the beginning, the first ones,
Oh boy.
and there's a
Yeah.
callback to that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I had skipped those cutscenes my first time through because I thought they weren't important. Newsflash, they are.
I honestly need to go back and watch those again because one, it's been a long time, and two, when I was doing those, it was really late at night. I was doing them with a group, so like everyone's like going at the same time. I'm getting tired. I'm reading slow. People are waiting, so I'm like, oh my god, I just got to get through these cutscenes. They're talking so much, so like I stopped really absorbing what was being said, and I'm like, man, I wish I paid like more attention. So now it's like, okay, I should go back and like see with a critical eye and like actually pay attention.
That's what I did with one of my Baby Nox, actually.
Mm.
Baby Nox, I zipped through I skipped everything. Because didn't care. Just get Baby Nox leveled up until I hit the Alliance raid, and then I actually stopped and watched those cutscenes because I knew I had skipped those. I was like, what
Yeah.
actually happened here?
Yeah.
I remember when Stan was surprised I didn't know. I was like, I thought it wasn't important. It was Alliance raids. You said they weren't important. He was like, oh, well, that one is.
It's required.
Well, I didn't know that. I was just annoyed that I had to do it.
Oh gosh.
That was pretty good.
So there are a subset of people who play the game who play it like a single player RPG.
Yes.
And what do we think about that?
I think that's wild. Just because of how I prefer to play with people.
Same.
Even if the people are terrible sometimes. People can always be
Oh,
terrible
no.
sometimes everywhere. Like, that's
fact.
humanity, right? It's just so I just enjoy that part. That's what makes MMOs fun to me, is doing a dungeon with other people and doing whatever content and having other people running around with you and doing things, whatever.
Yeah.
I enjoy all of that. So playing it single player is weird to me, but to each their own. It's kind of cool that they are enabling people to do it, though. I'm
Mhm.
glad that it's an option for people.
Yeah, I
So
have a
going
similar
back,
stance.
they were adding what did they call the trust system?
Yeah.
I had to think about the name because I have never actually used it. It's a thing. It's there. I've never touched it. So yeah, they've gone back and added that to Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward so far. And I think, have they started with
Some
Stormblood?
Stormblood.
Some of it?
I think some Stormblood. I don't remember for sure, but I want to say they did.
I think
Or
so. I
maybe
think what
that's in
they've
the
done,
works.
I don't remember, because the way they've been doing it is they'll do like the main story dungeons first, and then they'll do
Yeah.
the patch dungeons, which are main story too. But yeah, they'll do like the leveling dungeon part as a trust, and then like the next patch they'll add them. So I don't know. I think they've done Stormblood's leveling dungeons.
Okay.
I think they've left the patches not done yet. I don't know, but it's all coming. They are going to have the whole game where you could run it single player for the most part.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's an option, I guess.
Yeah.
It's, more people can play the game, and hopefully it helps people that might be nervous to run with others.
Mhm.
And maybe they run with the trust and they build up a confidence, and then they give it a shot with other people because now they've had that training, so to speak. They've had that confidence.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've run this with the trust. Maybe I can run this with other people now. I've seen what that is. I know what that is. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could happen. So I don't see it as a negative.
No.
No, I don't think so. I I think it definitely could be played as like just a single player RPG, which is a testament to, how good the story and playthrough is. But at the same time, it is an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
So there are MMO aspects that you are missing out on.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. And
But
I
it is
don't know.
possible.
I don't. I don't see it being that good of a single player game, though. For me,
It's really long.
it's extremely long. Holy cow! I I remember seeing a thing where some people were saying, "Oh well, I play pretty casually," and then in parentheses, "I play about 15 to 20 hours a week." I'm like, that's not casual. And I know a bunch of MMO people are going to come out the woodwork and be like, "Oh, that's casual. I put in 60 or whatever." I don't know. If you're putting in like over 10 hours, you are not casual. Like a casual player is someone who puts in an hour or two a week.
Yeah.
That's casual. And
Yeah.
the game is just so long that if you're casual and you probably want to play it like a single player game, oh my gosh, it's going to take you
A
Years.
very long
yeah,
time.
years to beat the game. So, you won't get to you won't get to Endwalker before you get to the next expansion that's coming out. and and you might not reach Endwalker before the next expansion finishes. So,
Man.
that's how long it is. It's so long.
It is. It is an enjoyable story, but yeah, if you have a time sink on your hands and you're just looking for maybe a sort of single player RP, like you have to have a lot of time on your hands to
Yeah.
play through it. Like, sure,
Mhm.
go for it.
Well, I guess the other thing for me that makes it not a good single player game, for me, I know to everyone is a little bit different, or a lot of bit different, but I to me, a single player game needs to have interactions with the world in a way that you're affecting things. You feel like, I guess in Final Fantasy, you do feel like a main character, which I don't I don't think is necessary for an MMO because it's just, we're all main characters, yay. But that doesn't make sense, you know, but it's, I don't know. I like to be able to affect things in a single player story game and to make decisions that will matter. And you
Oh
can't do that
yeah.
in an MMO because you can't do that with it's just, how do you have like, oh yeah, no, I decided to kill this person in Act 3, but everyone else didn't, or half the people did. That doesn't work in an MMO. You can't do that. So
Yeah.
to me, it's missing that aspect, so it can't be a great single player game in my mind. But not everyone's like that. A lot of people just want to read the story and chill out and just play the game. And yeah, it's great for that. It actually is pretty good.
Yeah, I have another alt as well. I think I probably I oh wait, no, I brought a job skip on my alt. Oof.
Oh
I
no.
did. Well, it was gonna be a rating alt.
Hmm.
That's why I bought the skip. But I do have another alt that is I'm actually using that to go through the story again.
Hmm.
Um, which is nice when I just want to chill.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done that. I I need to get back on lounging knocks.
Oh my gosh.
Just go
Oh,
hang out on him. It is
yeah.
it's actually very relaxing to run around in the game from a casual perspective,
Mm-hmm.
which is what lounging knocks is. For context, I got the game on PS5 because I'm addicted and I bought the game twice. And I made a character to play on my PlayStation. Um and it's like super casual cuz I'm terrible on a controller. So, uh it's fun, like just enjoying a bunch of the zone music, or even in A Realm Reborn, the zone music turns off. I don't know if you guys noticed
Oh
that. It's
yeah.
probably been a while.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so when you're running around on foot, like that's very obvious because you're in there long enough for the music to stop playing. Uh, when you're flying, you're just zipping through and whatever. You don't even notice.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, it's because whoever the sound designer was at the time, I can't. It wasn't Soken yet. It was the other guy. I forget his name. I'm bad at names.
Oh,
But
was it Uematsu?
yes, yes, because he did the original Final Fantasy soundtracks, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So his philosophy was, oh well, you shouldn't have the music playing all the time. It should go away, and you should be in the world and like experiencing the sounds and just being in the game world. And a bunch of people didn't really like that, but I got I got it. I was just playing on my PlayStation, relaxing, and I just realized, oh, the music's not playing, and I could hear the bugs like buzzing over in
Yeah.
this field, and I could like, the footsteps and the water running over there by that river or whatever. Like, wow, I was in the world for a little bit. It was really cool feeling. It's a great game. That's all I'm really trying to say here, you know?
That is why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. The more I talk about the game, good grief, I just really enjoy it so much.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, gosh, from the like a little over a year that I've been playing, it is good. I definitely log in every day, and we're putting in hours, and I'm still here. So
You know,
Yeah, I'm
it's become a part of my life, basically.
yep,
since I'm not running T, I've been using my free time. Well, I leveled in ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, for those that aren't familiar.
nice, nice,
I
nice.
finished, I got to level 50, but apparently there's more leveling after that. I'm not getting into the whole what that is all about, but just I reached the character max level of 50, so that was cool. But I don't know, I never felt the same connection with the game world, and I kind of took my time and watched things and listened to the stories for a while and didn't hit like Final Fantasy did.
Hmm.
Didn't feel it. Didn't just was kind of all right, here I am. But the game's fun. Game's pretty fun. But it's just the world design, just the story building wasn't as good to me. I don't it just kind of fell a little bit flat, and I think we're just spoiled with Final Fantasy now.
Oh no.
Like
I mean, I think what kept me into Final Fantasy are just like sort of the storytelling, the themes. Um, I because it hits you on a personal level, I think, or at least you know, Shadowbringers to Endwalker, like
Oh my gosh.
some of those main themes. I'm just like, huh. And the timing of it too during like the pandemic
Oh my
was
gosh.
was
Yeah.
like, wow. And just it hits different than just maybe picking up like some I don't know, some game on PlayStation or something that's like 30-hour playthrough or something.
there is a certain advantage to saying the game is so long because some of the events just do have a certain level of payoff that you wouldn't get from, like you said, from like a 30-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, I don't know, we spent an eternity with some of the characters, it felt like. So
Gosh.
I
Yeah.
didn't feel some of it like others did. Everyone's going to respond differently, but I definitely like Shadowbringers for me. That one, loved it.
It was fantastic. The
It
world
God,
was.
building, spot on.
gosh, I miss it. I want to go back
Yeah.
all the time.
I want to like relive my first experience with that expansion. I
Oh,
can't like
Yep.
go in blind again.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
I've always had that feeling of wanting to experience something for the first time because you can't ever do that again.
Yeah.
And yeah, at
Uh,
Shadowbringers, some of that I don't want to say any spoilers, but just like the first time you walk into some of the zones
yeah.
and the lighting, you
Yeah.
guys know what I'm
Oh.
talking about. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's so like whoa.
Yep.
Like we're in this place. This is whoa. Like, it was just really cool.
Yeah. And just the ending of Shadow. I think we should probably have a podcast. We can just like dive into like expansions and story,
Yeah.
I think.
I'd have to do
And
some like refreshers.
well,
Like yeah, but yes, I absolutely think yeah, I would love to like dive into some of the stuff.
and just like, be like warning spoilers
Oh
for
yeah, there would have to be a big one. Warning, spoiler. Warning, spoiler.
yeah.
Jeez.
But just like the ending of Shadowbringers, I'm just like, wow,
And what
so
a
good.
great the villain of it was great.
Oh
I
man.
to me, yeah, they felt like a person, not just a bad guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yep.
a lot of times you get into this whole trope of, oh yeah, they're the bad guy. Why? Because I mean, look at them, and you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, then, they're the bad guy, obvious, and that's it. But then Shadowbringers like really brought out in a lot of characters. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
it's not all just black and white.
No,
Like, there's reasons, and wow, it was so good. I really enjoyed all of the. There was so much development that happened in Shadowbringers that I just enjoyed so much, and that payoff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
it was,
oddly, I was feeling rushed. I remember my first time through, I was feeling rushed because I could see the end right? I'm like, I'm almost at the end of the MSQ, and then I can go and raid and do things, and I can play the game finally. Yes, but at the same time, I was like, man, this is like, I'm really enjoying this story now. Like, I'm in
Yeah.
this. I'm here. I like this. So it's, oh,
Yeah. Ah, yes. I guess going back to community.
oh yeah, we
Uh,
got so,
we did. We got carried away.
it's,
We love Shadowbringer.
yes.
We're we're fanning over Shadowbringers right
Yeah.
now. Um, but back to the community.
Yeah, community. People
Um,
that love the story too much.
yeah. It's so true though. I mean, there's just so many things that even from our prior podcasts that we talked about, like coming into like more events
Oh
and
yeah.
hunt trains or like
Hmm.
people that are just known in the community. Even it's like it's a kind of small community, so people know you
Burger
if you
salad.
Yeah.
burger sounds. If you make a mark on the community, it's small enough that it'll get around.
Yeah.
There's the crafting gathering circles, the art community, art parties, and even like special events. Like I know Clarissa participated in was it an all Catboy run of
Yeah, of one
Hmm.
of the new alliance raids. Honestly, that was my best performance, I think. I feel like I played really well. Um, which is funny because it's like, oh, all these cats are running around, but just the fur flying. But it was it was really fun. You'll just kind of see fun little things that people in the community just decide, I want to do this fun little activity and get some people together and do something wacky.
Oh, there
And
was. Sorry, I
it's
didn't
just
see
fun.
it. Yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry, I
No, no,
got
go
so
ahead.
excited about something I
No,
thought of, and
no,
then
Don't
it's
lose
fine.
it.
No, go ahead.
the new player that I've been watching, I didn't get to
Mhm.
see it, but he talked about it. He said he was in one of the cities. I think it was Gridania, and there was just a random Lalafell parade.
Oh, yeah,
He was
yeah.
just chilling, and all of a sudden, just a giant group of Lalafell just came marching through,
I
parading
love
in their
that.
glams and everything. And he thought it was hilarious, and he was like, "Yeah, this is like I don't. It just feels like an MMO."
Yeah.
It
And
really does.
it, I know that sounds stupid. Like, well, yeah, it's an MMO, but like, WoW to me, because that's the one that I had the experience with early on when you'd have like the mammoth parades and Orgrimmar or whatever, and just the random events that would happen within the community. I felt like those have kind of died off, and a lot of other games I haven't ever found that when I've played in them. But Final Fantasy had that, and as that new player experience, when you go to the Limsa Aetheryte Plaza and there's just people standing around, just
Yeah.
hanging, and literally hanging, like they're not going to the auction board, they're not doing whatever, like anything, they're just hanging out in their cool outfits.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
In their spot.
in
Oh,
their
yeah.
spot, yes. uh, it's that's an MMO to me, and it was always the same people. I still remember on Behemoth. I haven't seen them in forever, but there was this group of Hrothgar that just had a corner. It was just their spot in Limsa, and they would hang out almost every night.
Oh
And
my
there
god.
was just like the Hrothgar boys just chilling in the corner, doing their thing, maybe doing squats or what. I was like this buff guys in the corner. It was that to me. That's an MMO. That's like you're in the world. These people are hanging out in the world. We're just doing our thing, and I don't know. Final Fantasy captured the magic for me of that, and I haven't seen that or felt that in a game in so long.
Yeah, same. Like Hyperion has their Lalafell tree in Limsa, and all the Lalafells just like hang out underneath it, and people go over there and like, pat them on the head. Um, or just even like, yeah, random mount trains or even glam trains. I think around the holidays there was like a Santa hat glam train going around Limsa.
Yeah, we've
Um,
often met.
yeah, and just random things that you'll just see around and just like, hey, that's pretty fun. Or if you're on a hunt train. So if you don't know what a hunt train is, that Final Fantasy has these like different ranked marks for hunts of like bosses. So there's like S rank, A rank, B rank. And so for A ranks, there's a lot of times hunt trains where you can participate in and get the call out like, hey, one's starting on this server, and you go there and they'll announce the coordinates of the mark and you all go kill it and you get your, rewards. Well, sometimes you have to wait for people to get there. And of course, Lamp,
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh, lamp.
lamp. I don't know, like what there's this light in an area in Endwalker, and it is a big light. And anytime we go on a hunt train, it's like you gotta make a pit stop for the lamp, and we're all like
Yep.
moths going to the gosh darn lamp.
Uh,
Yeah,
Why?
it's
I
it's
don't.
kind of funny because they'll link the coordinates, and I know which lamp it is.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's no like, you don't even have to check your map, nothing. It's just like, oh, we're going to that one, and you just fly at the light, and everyone's there.
Uh,
to the lamp, and of course everyone's just like saying lamp in
Yep,
chat.
yeah.
of course.
You know, hunt
Yep.
train chat turns into I don't know something.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
the trade
interesting.
chat of yore, if you will.
Yeah, it is.
Although not quite, because trade chat could get weird in World of Warcraft and stuff. It's not even, I don't know. It's just a fun chat. People just hanging out, screaming
Yep,
lamp.
Yeah.
yep. Far Lamald, near Lamald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's just like a whole like subculture within hunt trains and just like hunt like there's like discords and stuff too, so
Who was that
you
one
you see a lot of
celebrity?
familiar faces. Oh, Johnny
Johnny
Football.
Football.
So
Infamous celebrity.
yeah, he's reformed now. So Johnny, if
He's
you're listening,
reformed.
thank you. Um but like around the time when I had just finished Shadowbringers, so I was caught up in MSQ and I was like getting into gearing up my character and stuff. I'm like, okay, I discovered hunts. I found out how like useful they were, so I was like, okay, I'm a hunt fanatic. I'm in the discords. I'm running to get to those marks that are called. I'm partying up with so I got pretty familiar with it. So whenever S rank hunts are called, usually don't have a lot of time to get to the mark because people have a tendency to early pull. And around that time, for whatever reason, this guy named Johnny Football was apparently the one that was doing the early pulling, like really bad, like really early, just like kind of griefing people trying to get to the mark. And people would get to the location and they'd be like, is the mark still here? And people would just say no. The mark got Johnny footballed. And like in the Discord, if the mark was posted, like the chords were posted, like, okay, go here, kill this mark, people would just react with the football and you knew not to even try to go to that because it was dead. It was Johnny Football.
Oh, those are pretty strong bosses. Like, did
Yeah.
he just solo them?
Um, so I'm not exactly sure. I never really saw the footballing happening, but when someone attacks that mark, it becomes a chain reaction because people are like, "Oh, the boss has been pulled. I gotta start hitting it so I get credit." And it's so hard to stop. So if people were already kind of like congregating, that whoever early pulled is likely going to get away with it. Um, if someone else can't like pull aggro and leash the boss. Um, but some of them, depending on the mark, you can solo them. Like some of the earlier bosses, probably like Shadowbringers or not Shadowbringers, Stormblood. But I don't know how Johnny would down the Shadowbringers ones by himself. But like I said, I'd usually arrive late to the party. But But he's reformed now, from what I can tell.
Yeah, somebody sent him
He's
to
a good
rehab.
man.
You know, maybe he found himself a nice lady that settled him down finally.
Oh boy. Mrs. Football.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have that, and then there's just who might be some funny community people that you know of, like the Weeaboo Police, or
Gosh.
the Songbirds, or
There's a bunny girl. I don't know
Janes.
why. They're not even a celebrity. But I have run into them so many times when I'm running around. I'll be in the Gold Saucer. There they are. I'm in Ulda. There they are. I'm in another place. There they randomly are. It's mashed potato. And it's a bun girl in an all-white glam.
Seen
There
them
you go.
before.
Yeah, and I've seen them like if I don't see them for a week, it's weird. And
Oh my gosh.
I just always run into mashed potato. So they've never done anything. They're always AFK. I've never seen them even move. But I don't know. They're just
Are you real?
yeah. Are you
Are you
real?
real?
Are you real mashed potatoes? Or are you like the bag version? No. But that they're like a celebrity for me, like my own personal celebrity, because I've seen
That's
them so
funny.
much. But there's the bard bands, I guess those are
Oh yeah.
celebrities. The what you just named them a moment ago,
The
Oh,
Janes and Famfrit.
or the Star Song or the
Songbirds?
Songbirds. Yeah, the Songbirds, which is also a bard band.
Oh, the Jades.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're still standing around. I haven't visited Famfrit in a while.
I haven't been there in a while either.
The Weeaboo Police I haven't seen for a minute,
Yeah.
but I know they're still out there somewhere.
Yep. Weeaboo Police. Obviously our favorite of Burger Salad, who doesn't even know.
Oh
No,
my God.
Burger Salad has no idea.
Burger Salad, please, if you're out there. We're your biggest fan.
We love your glams. The pink
Yeah.
Hrothgar
I'm gonna go find him
is
again.
our favorite.
I'm gonna whisper him the podcast.
We love your glams, buddy. It's on point. You got the whole aesthetic going, and we're fans.
Mm-hmm.
Big fans of the Burger Salad.
Yep. And the name too.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's just, he dresses so dapper for someone with a name like that.
Yeah.
And the pink ensembles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
With the
pink
minions
ensembles.
to match.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
See,
just,
like we
just laughing
gosh.
to myself thinking about someone named Burger Salad with all of this
An
fanciness.
iconic name.
It is.
It
It's
He's
so great.
iconic.
Oh gosh. Well, that's like on Hyperion. There's Pink Manther,
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
and it's hilarious because it's
Oh man, this guy, one
kinda
guy,
looks like the Pink Panther.
he lives in my head rent free forever. Because it was, that moment when I was in awe in the Limsa Aetherite Plaza. I don't know the character's name, but there was a guy that was cosplayed, or, well, whatever, that glammed up. They looked like He-Man.
Oh
Oh,
my
And
gosh.
it was just a big Rogadin man. Just standing there in the Aetherite Plaza, just chilling, hands on his hips, just bam. I was like, this game is cool.
Yeah.
Because someone did that. And I don't know who that was, but I have always appreciated. Was it He-Man? I don't know. It was one of those, like, with the no shirt, red boots. I'm pretty sure it was He-Man. Yeah, it was He-Man.
That's funny.
Big sword on his back. It was great.
gosh. I do like seeing people who are like, Mario and Luigi, or
Oh
you'll
yeah.
see Scooby Gang, or
Oh my gosh, I saw a Wario and his name was Wario of Light.
I've seen them around.
Yes.
I've been in PvP with them.
Yeah, I've been in I sometimes get well, I used to get like Praetorium and stuff before they made it 4-man. When it was 8-man, I would get them in that sometimes in random queues. I always love seeing Wario of Light. It's amazing.
that's really good. Oh gosh. Yeah, I love seeing that. Or if you see like, people that are maybe plays on main characters in the story or just main characters in the story, and it's so funny. And then if they're in, like sort of in character too.
Oh yeah, that's always
Oh,
funny.
what about the Swole group?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Alpha Swole
Yeah, they had like all of the scions.
and like Alliganes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Allegains.
yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. That was weren't they all Rogadins just in the uniforms?
I think so.
I think.
With the hair.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
so good.
that is really good. Yeah, just like stuff like that makes me laugh. And sometimes if you go to clubs or, out in the world, you'll see like groups of people that you know they clearly coordinated together, and it is so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just yeah. Now I'm thinking of different people I've seen over the last year and a half. I was gonna say over the years. It hasn't even been 2 yet. It's only been 1.5. But I remember a peeled Popito. It
Oh,
was a little Lalafell, and they had dyed whatever they were wearing. I couldn't even tell, but it was dyed like skin color, so they looked naked. Their
That's
name
a
was,
oh,
potato.
and
that
they
is
were
a potato.
that's a peeled Popito right there.
Oh, geez.
It was so good. It's what a just yeah, and this is all the community though. It's just
Yep.
so much fun to see these things and just its memories. I mean, sheesh, I still remember He-Man from when I first played. Clueless guy just running into Limsa, bam, He-Man. Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
the
Missed that.
hunts, the all cat run of an alliance raid, which is incredible to get 24 cats all together in the same place.
cat wrangling.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
All tank runs of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Seen
I
that.
lo- I love just funny meme runs, or like all healer runs, all summoner runs, or all
Oh,
tank. It's just
DPS.
hilarious. Or like gun mode, so it's like Gunbreaker, Sage, Machinist only. It's so fun.
There's always something happening. Like you can just like open up Party Finder and like look in the like what is it, the other tab or like general or honestly just like people can just have like really wacky runs of like, extremes or something up and it's just like just you can just look and if there's anything interesting. I think we ran like a savage with all tanks or we tried a
We did.
P1S, didn't
We
we?
did try P1S with all tanks.
That was fun. I don't remember if we succeeded. I don't think we did, but we were close.
We were
It was
close.
fun.
It was fun. Just like stuff like that. I love it. Um, I guess the last thing I'd like to kind of touch on is like the art community, because I know Clarissa is an artist. I know we haven't been guests of art parties, but they're out there. And so
Yeah.
art parties are just, someone will make the bat signal for an art party, and people will gather there, and if there's a theme, they'll dress to the theme, and then people can go and like draw sort of the scenes going on. And I I think it's really cool because you can see a lot of really cool like art come out of it, or just inspiration for other things, or even just people just hanging out at art parties as well.
Yeah. I know. I really, really want to get a chance to go to one at some point, but I'm always so nervous. It's like,
Me too.
oh, it's really hard for me to keep up in chat if I'm at like a busy event where there are like several different conversations happening at once.
Yeah.
So I would probably take like a I'll be in a corner somewhere, being very quiet and just kind of like taking it all in, like maybe like sketch some people that I find have like interesting characters. But I think it would be really fun to go to one at least. I have to one find out when one is happening, and two convince people to go with me. 'cause I don't want to go
I
by myself.
I would go with you. The only caveat is that I don't draw, so I would just be an art party enjoyer at this
That's
point
fine.
'cause I don't draw anything. My drawing would look like Nashu's like little cat, and it wouldn't be good. But I could come and enjoy, um, and be there. But they do look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I even the G poses that people do from art
Oh,
parties are really cool. Just
yeah.
like what they can do with lighting and like positioning and sort of making it tell a story is really cool.
G
And
pose is definitely a skill.
yeah.
I need to get better at it.
Same.
Yeah. I gosh, there's so many times I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to do like G poses and showcasing like all my Dark Knight glams and like different fights and stuff. But have I done it? No, just because of like time, and it takes a
Oh,
lot of time and thought, and it just I know or April's coming up, so I might do that. But I know Clarissa, you're doing Miko
I'm
March.
yeah, I'm behind. I kind of like I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep trying. I just kind of like wasn't sure what to do. I think I'm stuck on day 5. The theme was like there are a couple of days where like it's a free day, so like you can pick whatever theme you want, and I'm like, no, I don't know what to do. So I still have to figure out like a theme that I want to do for Jeep. Um, and then it's like it takes so much time. I'm doing like a handful of other things. Oh my gosh, I have to try to come up with a good idea and then try to find a location. Or if I do have a location idea in mind, but it's something that I would have to like build and housing, I'm like, do I really want to do that?
Oh gosh.
That's my
Yeah,
current predicament.
Yeah,
that is yeah.
it's not quite well. It's kind of G pose, but I don't know. I've had things where it's like, man, I'd love to do like a little music video thing with my character and like get other, get your all's characters and we do like this cool stuff with this music or whatever. And but it's so much work. I just haven't
It's a
put
lot.
any time into it, but I already know that it would take like hours just to get a few minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Oh gosh. Yeah,
yeah,
tree posing it's an art. It is
Yeah.
a skill. I
yeah.
yeah.
I don't even know because I've seen people make videos involving with like their characters and stuff, and I don't even know how they do it sometimes. Especially
I
some of the editing.
definitely
I'm like, oh my gosh.
it's it's crazy. I like you said, the editing, I've definitely done a little bit of like GPOs and like filming and stuff, and I don't know how some people get these angles and it's just so smooth, and I'm just like, man, I don't know how to do this quite yet. So I'll
Yeah.
make something kind of choppy and try.
But I think it's fun. Like if you just
Oh
want to give
yeah.
it a try, it's fun. Um Sort of test ways where you can make a scene, tell a story, showcase your favorite glam,
Hmm.
maybe build the backstory of your OC
Yeah.
while you're doing it.
Hmm.
I know people use it for that too.
Hmm.
I'd be interested in finding some like fan fiction OC stories, whatever. Like I don't know. I'd like to see from an art perspective. I'm thinking of the art. Like I'd be interested in
Yeah.
stories that people come up with.
There's a
I'd like
lot of
to.
that on Twitter.
Hmm.
I don't know how to navigate
There's a
Twitter. I'm
tag.
too old for this.
If you
You can Bing
if you
search.
Yeah, let me Bing search it.
no,
Where is it
no.
on Bing? I got the app
Oh my
downloaded. Come on.
god. Oh my god. No. But
Daddy needs
for
Bing
any
points.
listener for any listeners who might be interested in finding out more about the community and like the character building aspect and what other people are doing, with their Warriors of Lights. If you go on Twitter, yes, I know the app is like falling apart, but if you search hashtag question of the day, I think if you search it that way, some questions will come up. But if you search, let me check. Well, if you search hashtag WOLQOTD, you can find a lot of really cool prompts and see how people respond to it. I usually like participate in that a bit. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to, well, write that down or something. Type it down, not write.
Oh
No
yeah,
one
I
writes
have
anymore.
it.
Yeah, just I'll have to make sure, like maybe put it in the maybe put it in the show notes or something so people could find that. Make sure,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know. And also, I'd like it because yeah, I'd like to make sure I remember to do that myself. Check that stuff out. I don't know. I'm interested in that part. Although
It's
Twitter,
fun.
the Twitter app falling apart real quick.
Oh
I don't know if you guys have
God.
had this. It's such a weird issue. You know, you drag down from the top and it refreshes so you can see new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't it automatically go to the top?
I don't know.
Like
I've had that issue.
yeah, I'll scroll down on it. It refreshes, but then it just keeps me there, and I have to hit the blue bird
Yeah.
thing to go to the top of the refresh. Like, why? What?
I've just been scrolling and crying.
Yeah, if you hit the little
Yeah.
blue bird, it'll snap you to the top of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to scroll and cry.
But
that,
yeah, a lot of
yeah,
well, I was just gonna say a lot of the Final Fantasy like extensions of the community are on Twitter just because
Hmm.
when Twitter was possibly melting down, we're like, where do we go? What do we do? And it was like Tumblr and all these other different things, and I think we've mostly stayed on Twitter anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oddly
anything
enough,
from
Twitter just works for a lot of things.
it,
Like it's
yeah. I think for like fan fiction and OC headcanons and G poses and art and just anything else, Twitter's mostly the platform where Final Fantasy community is.
Yeah.
we'll just switch to that other one.
What's the other
Which
one?
I don't know. I don't. The one of the ones that's filled with
Tumblr?
controversy because it's purely political. We'll just go take Final
Oh,
Fantasy there. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I have no idea.
Didn't Trump make one?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what it's called though.
I don't either. I just know it's
Nope.
out there. We'll just take the
Nope.
whole FF14. Just
No.
they would
Jeez.
be so confused.
Oh gosh.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually saying we do that. I don't even know what the heck it's called. So,
I don't know. But
yeah.
anyway,
Yes, there's not really an alternative. So it's just Twitter. Twitter is where you're
Twitter,
gonna find everyone.
you can find a lot of stuff for most of everything we've talked about tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what our next episode will entail.
We might
But
actually have to have a meeting.
we will have to have a meeting about it, but be sure to catch us.
Oh yeah, we'll find something to talk about.
Oh.
If it's not obvious yet, we really love this game, and
We
we'll
could
find something.
discuss. There's gonna be a patch. On
Oh yeah,
Tuesday.
we've got
We
a
could
patch. That's
discuss
gonna take
some of the patch content.
Yep.
spoiler alerts for the next podcast. Spoilers incoming.
Yep. Talk about the patch stuff. But yeah, I think we've done a good roundabout on the things in community between this episode and our previous one. Just talking about all the different aspects and really what makes Final Fantasy 14 a great MMO, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I agree. I think we've touched on most everything we can think of.
Yeah.
And there's still more to talk about, of course. We're not saying we've covered all of it. Final Fantasy, goodbye. Like, there's always more to talk about, but I think we've covered just the big community bits and just what the game is kind of all about. Yeah, we've done a good job, I think.
Good
But
run around.
pat on everyone's back.
And
Job
so
well done.
next week we'll probably be covering patch content.
I think patch content, maybe talk about I don't know. Rating?
Maybe
Maybe. I don't know if we've gotten. I don't know. I feel like we kind of covered that a bit.
a little bit.
We talked about, statics versus FCs and
Oh yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I don't know, but
Yeah, well, it will definitely patch content and maybe a little tidbits of surprise.
definitely some surprise. I'll be surprised. But all right, let's.
If anyone listening, oh,
No, you go
if
ahead.
anyone listening has any suggestions or like they want us to cover anything, definitely, we're all ears. We would love to cover something that you're interested in. So let us know.
Oh, for sure.
Give us
Yeah,
feedback.
we're only
What
we're
do you
only
want?
3 brains. We could use more.
And we
Yeah,
can't count.
yeah,
Well,
we're Final Fantasy Raiders. We can't count. We can't see colors. Yeah.
Exactly. Weast. What is direction? I don't know.
Yeah,
oh,
directions, I don't know. So yeah, give us your suggestions. We'd love to hear them and cover them and talk about them. Maybe include you if you want. So
Yeah,
yeah,
all of the above. We're always looking for ideas and maybe something we missed or maybe whatever. Yeah, bring something up. Or if you disagree, let us know there. Maybe there's a talking point there. Yeah, who knows?
mm-hmm.
yep,
So always feel free, whatever on YouTube, leave us a review on Apple, of course, wherever you are listening, whatever platform, leave a like. I don't know, a check mark, the 5 stars. I don't know what buttons are on whatever app you're using, but whatever
Ring
it
that
is.
little bell.
Yeah, exactly. Smash it.
that's
Crush it. Do it with authority. And if there's any way to leave feedback, leave it. Let us know what's up. And that's about it. I think we're there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good patch day, everyone, and we will catch you next week.
Next week indeed. Yep.